to another edition of Chelsea SW6 Transfer Rumours, and probably seen yesterday the news coming out that Thursday it seems to be the day where all things will be confirmed and Frank Lampard will be presented as the new Chelsea manager. It's expected to be a 5-year deal worth £5.5 million a year. Rather interesting too that on social media, when Sky Sports have put it up on Twitter, John Terry has put the old likes, put the thumbs up. He likes obviously the news, and so it seems Thursday is the day. Also too, rather interesting that Derby, it seems, have got their man, or at least their replacement for Frank. Philip Cocu, he's expected to be announced as Frank's replacement for Derby. But also interesting too, on Talk Sport, Simon Jordan thought that we was, as a football club, acting in a very arrogant way, that we always sign our new managers in the month of July, and we've completely and utterly played it all at our pace on the pretense that we was always going to get our man, and Derby were almost like the ugly sister at the ball, you know, where they were completely and utterly overlooked. Well, depends how you look at it really. One thing I can say is Shay Gibbon, who was earmarked to follow Frank as part of his backroom staff, is deciding to stay at Derby, and so it doesn't look like he'll be joining us. Derby will get their compensation package. It looks to me as if it's the fitness coach, Jody Morris, and obviously Frank Lampard himself that will be joining us. Other news, and we did mention that Gary Cahill has obviously left the club now. It's a free agent, complete free agent. There was a lot of talk about him joining Arsenal. It seems as though Leicester City could be a destination for him. Leicester, who are getting bids from both Manchester clubs for Harry Maguire. So they're looking for a replacement there, and it seems as though Gary Cahill could be heading to the King Power. And good luck to Gary. Other news then, Ruben Loftus-Cheek has apparently agreed on a 5-year deal, 150 grand a week. That's a lot of money, so he's got to be happy with that, and it's something that he was all a little bit concerned about. And also Callum Hudson-Odoi, it seems as though that now is going in the same sort of way, a very positive mood too. Not as much as Ruben, only 100 grand a week for Callum, but still a lot of money for for his age and everything else. So two absolutely massively strong contracts there. Hopefully both will be tied up. 3 other contracts that Chelsea have managed to conclude: George McCracken, Juan Castillo, and Tarek Wake. I've got that one right there. None of them have made a debut for Chelsea, but although I believe George is the younger brother of Josh McCracken, he was on the subs bench, I think, for a Europa League game. But all 3 have been tied up, new deals, new contracts, and that's great, absolutely great. Other news, and Tammy Abraham, as we all know, is looking to come back to Chelsea and feels that this is his moment, this is his time. Well, Dean Saunders has come out and said it's a stupid decision to make. He's loved at Villa Park, 40,000 fans that love him. Why does he want to go there? He may as well stay at Villa, where he's going to get opportunities, whereas he's likely to not play every game, and he's got to battle his way through, etc. There's a big reason for that, Dean Saunders. We're a bigger club, despite what you said about us last week. Anyone can see that. He wants to make it at Chelsea. If he can make it at Chelsea, then it's far better for Tammy Abraham to return back to the fold. And a club like Chelsea needs 2 or 3 high quality strikers. We know that, and so that's the reason, Dean. Other news on Frank Lampard. What they're saying is he's going to bring the first team and the youth team together, from using the same gym, using the same facilities at the same time, so they're going to be mixing together, and also changing the times when the youth side, so they don't sort of simultaneously train at the same time, so that he has an opportunity to deal with the first team but also deal with the youth sides too, and be able to watch their training sessions and stuff like that. So it's something that hasn't been done for a long time. In fact, the last manager that actually implemented this was Andre Villas-Boas. So, you know, Frank's obviously looking towards the future and obviously looking towards that mixture of playing staff that we have and how we're going to be moving forward as a club. I think it's an excellent move, you know, to bring the youth and the first team together, get them mixing, get them training, get them doing all of the right things at the right. It definitely shows there's a complete and utter unity, and it also frees up Frank to be able to go and watch and see those players that, you know, maybe instead of just concentrating on the first team, you can look elsewhere and go, do you know what, it'll do for me, or maybe slot him in. So yeah, very clever stuff, and you know, that's definitely the way it goes as far as I'm concerned. Gianfranco Zola, as we know, his contract expires, and he wasn't interested in taking an ambassadorial role at Chelsea. It seems that Frank's been on the phone to the ex-Chelsea man and trying to convince him to stay at Chelsea and be part of the training, be part of the team in terms of coaching, you know, which is fantastic. You know, that's what we want, this old and new, and, you know, legends of the past and legends, you know, that perhaps left Chelsea 4 or 5 years ago, and that complete mixture, that complete Chelsea spine, and yeah, that's fantastic news if we can keep Zola, because he is a ledge in his own right, you know, and it's a shame to see him go, especially when there's a new philosophy and it's all based around Chelsea past and present right now. So yeah, excellent news, and let's hope we can sort something out there for sure. Right, some stats here with regards to Eden Hazard, and I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that losing Eden Hazard makes us stronger, because we all know we've lost an absolute bit of quality. But some interesting stats that have come out during the 2018-2019 season. Right, these are the stats. Wins with Hazard playing 30, wins without 9, draws with Hazard playing 12, draws without 1, losses with Hazard playing 10, losses without 1, goals for scored with Hazard playing 81, goals for scored without him 31, goals scored per game with Hazard 1.6 goals per game, goals scored without Hazard in the team 2.8, and goals conceded, 51 goals conceded when Hazard's played. When Hazard hasn't played, we've conceded only 7 goals. Average goals against with Hazard in the team over all those games, and working it all out, 1 goal per game. With Hazard out of the team, 0.6. Those stats are quite incredible, really, aren't they? The win percentage with Hazard in the team over all of the games he's played was 57.7%. But the win percentage with him out of the team, 81.8. Interesting. What do you think about that, guys? Let us know what your thoughts are down below. As I say, I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that having Eden Hazard, you know, not in the team makes us stronger, for sure. That's a ridiculous thing to say. He's absolute class, we know that. But what do you think about those stats? Do you think it says something about the team? Do you think the team will be more balanced now without him? Well, it's not more so centralised around him. And we also know as well that there's a lot of players that have to do a little bit more, because he has got that little free roll. And, you know, we want him to do that damage in the final third, because we know how devastating he was. But we're now going to be more of a unit, more of a team, more of a, you know, as a result of not having Eden in the side. I don't know. Let us know down below, guys, what you think. Other news, and as we've reported on all of these videos, it does seem that Kurt Zouma could be surplus to requirements, but it definitely is true that Chelsea have put a £30 million clause, so they're giving Everton the option, and I think that's probably where it's going to be. that Everton will take that up, and he won't be a Chelsea player. But we'll just have to wait and see on that one. But we have put it out there. We know that Everton are interested in taking up that option, and we certainly know that the player is interested in that too, because he wants to play football. Last but no means least, and Ross Barclay, obviously partying in is it Mykonos with his girlfriend, the director of the Aztec Diamond Equestrian, Jordan McCabe. Go on, Rossi lad. Anyway, it looks like he's having fun out there and that, and I think it's a big year for Ross, because I think he's going to come on leaps and bounds with Frank. I really do, because he's got great potential. I remember him in Everton show; it was incredible. But I do think he's definitely come on. He's definitely improving, and if we get the best out of Ross Barkley, then it's fantastic, fantastic news. But there you go then, guys. That's pretty much it. As I say, the big news is that Thursday, it seems, is the day where all will be revealed, and Frank will be revealed as our manager. And it's fantastic news, and that's what we want. And then we can move on with everything. As I say, good news with regards to Ruben loftus-cheek, Callum Hudson-odoi. It seems that's going the right way too. And as I say, there's contracts still to be done with 3 or 4 others, as we know, which we've reported on before. And as soon as Frank, gets in there and takes charge of everything, I'm sure all this will be sorted out, and we'll be moving in the right direction. Great news if that's the way he's going to go about things with regards to the first team and the youth. To get that blend right, get them all working together. Proper team, as I say, together everyone achieves more, and that's so true. I know that through my own sales and marketing experience. It's the way, definitely the only way to go. So it's all positive, really, really positive. There's nothing you can't say. Bit of a shame last night about the England ladies, kind of the contrast of VAR, for sure. You had that where I thought they'd equalised, and it was just slightly off. Just sometimes you think, just would have had it, just created a bit more drama, wouldn't it? But then you get that penalty, which was 50-50, probably a penalty, probably got it about right, but my goodness, didn't it take a lot of time to sort out? So really unlucky England, but they lost to the best women's side in the world. How did America ever get so great at women's football? When you consider that the men aren't really all that, it's quite incredulous, really. But no, well done England. They got to the semi-finals and all that, and it was really enjoyable. Really enjoyed watching it. Just a real shame how it all turned out. But what do you think of VAR? Do you think it's good for the game? I mean, sometimes I think it's great. And then other times I think, I know it's such a lot of money in the game now, where you've got to get these decisions bang on, you've got to get it right, and if you get it wrong, it's very, very costly, and it's so much. I can understand all that, but I just think sometimes, that stoppage, the penalty situation, it just went on forever, didn't it, But there you go, guys. Thank you for watching Chelsea SW6 and subscribing. Very close to hitting 9,000 now. And we just hit 85,000 on the Facebook group. So thank you very much to everyone out there. And as always, love you loads, and keep the blue flag flying away.